at Sabrachi Jewelry Design, or Sabrachi. I don't even say his name right anymore because of Zach. He's a sponsor of Now We Go, and he's a sponsor of this show. He's a dual sponsor. He's a gemologist. He's a jeweler. He's specialized in CAD design, and he's also a branding specialist. You need anything at all done in those categories, Matt is the best motherfucker for that. It's D'Antonio and Klein Jewelers in Philadelphia, PA, and he's also going to be doing it soon to be in Lehigh Valley, PA. You can call or DM for appointments. He's in Philly on 726 Sanson Street, and you can follow him on social media at Sabrachi Jewelry Design. He's made pendants for finishers. We're working on stuff together. It's not just jewelry. We're working on pendants and all kinds of things. He's making rings. He can do anything that you need, from design to gems to jewelers. He is the real deal, and I'm excited. He's a childhood friend who grew a diamond business. He's a jeweler. We did a podcast with him. It's a cool story. Check him out. Sabrachi Jewelry Designs. Influencer, TikToker, entrepreneur, OnlyFanser. At this point, I'm just adding ERs. Show stalker, Gypsy Sister Kelly Lynn. She's sponsoring the show. And all you little boys who hit me up in my DMs, look at that, man. She's in a bikini. Go pay for it. Go pay for it. Go over to her Instagram. You want to know what Kelly's doing? Guys and girls, because girls, you can learn what she's doing. She's making a lot of money. You go over to @theGypsySister. You click on the link in her bio. After you look at all her pictures, a lot of good content. She's putting out content. She's an influencer. She's crushing TikTok. So you get into that Instagram, and then you click on it. And then you got your links. You got all your links now. You can see everything she's doing. Everything. She's doing merch. She'll pick up a shirt or a pillow. You want to sleep next to her? That's what I do. I got 6 of them in my bed. TikToker. You want to see her dance a little bit? See her dance on the railroad? Go there. She's an entrepreneur, an influencer, a TikToker. We're doing a podcast together. She's got a webpage coming. Should have asked me to do it. It'd be done. And she's a counselor. Girls, you want to learn how to do what she's doing? Go check it out. All the information is at Gypsy Sister on Instagram. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for finally taking the step towards OnlyFans. And you can go check it out, guys. Get out of my DMs and get into hers. Thank you, Kelly. Mad J's Barbecue, www.madjsbarbecue.com. They take cash, they take credit card. You can order online. Order online is the easiest for everybody. They can also call in their order. They got 2 locations. They are killing the barbecue game. Started out small. Now these guys got 2 separate locations. They're doing catering. They're doing pop-ups at Seven Sirens Brewery. What else can these guys do? The Nazareth location is over at 52 East Lawn Road. Anybody knows where Nazareth is? It's down past 7-Eleven, right next to Rita's. Shout out Calandra. They are at 52 East Lawn Road, and that's 610-365-7275 and www.madjsbarbecue.com. Justin just opened up the second location, and he is a part of Willow Creek Brewery, and that is 643 Penn Avenue, West Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be having these guys on the show, and they are crushing barbecue, catering, in-store, pickup. They're doing it all, man. They're doing it all. Check them out at madjsbarbecue.com, and thank you for being a sponsor. Precision Laser. Precision Laser is a family-owned aesthetic laser practice in Easton, Pennsylvania that was founded in 2019. They offer laser hair removal, laser tattoo removal, vascular and pigmented lesion removal, acne treatment, and more. Their team of licensed experts use cutting-edge technology and safe laser protocols to deliver you the best skin results throughout Easton, New Jersey, and the greater Lehigh Valley. They provide free consultations and affordable pricing to make laser treatments accessible to you all. To learn more about their services or book an appointment, please go to precisionlaserspecialist.com or call 484-306-0089. They are located at 42 South 3rd Street in Easton, PA, 18042. What are they running this summer? Hair removal. I'd like to get this whole thing removed because what do I want? A summer beach bod. They are running for $165 per session. You pick 2. Armpits, bikini Brazilian, upper legs, lower legs. This is what we're doing with them. I'm excited to have them, and I'm excited for them to be working with us. They're on the podcast. You can check out everything they're doing on the website, and thank you for being a sponsor. Look good this summer. Look good. Never Again Radio episode St. Patrick's Day. I'm out of numbers from the show. Welcome to the podcast. Jon Millisock. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Millisock. Close
Millisock.
enough.
What is that? PA Dutch?
German? Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think slang it means milk sack, but I'm not going to do whatever.
That was Keith.
It doesn't make you a bad. It doesn't make you a bad person.
I wanted to have you on. We've been trying to book this for a while. I've known you for an extremely long time from when I started doing clothing, and that was the only thing I was doing. And I kind of wanted to bring you on, or I wanted to bring you on to kind of get into a bunch of different stuff. I want to get into tattoos. I want to get into art. I want to get into firearms, and I want to get into what's that secret organization you belong to?
Freemasons.
The Freemasons. We'll do it in that order. How the hell did you start tattooing? When did you start tattooing, and why did you start tattooing? The triple header question there.
Wow.
That gives me time to sip on my coffee.
Why did I get into it is the first question. Let's go with that one. Where I grew up in Reading, there was an outlaw biker club.
Yes.
That had a, I don't know if it was a clubhouse or they just rented a big ass apartment building. Just every day they would ride past my house, and I thought that was the coolest effing thing I've ever seen.
Because it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got hooked, like just the image of the tattoos.
Yeah.
And then a shop opened up a couple blocks away from where I lived, and I went down there. I think I was 16, got tattooed.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
What'd you
cool.
get? What was your first tattoo?
Grim Reaper on my back.
Yes.
I still have it. Still have it. Yeah, that thing's bitching.
What a badass tattoo to get.
Yeah. So yeah, I got into tattooing. Started my apprenticeship over 20 years ago.
At that shop?
Well, it was the same owner, but not the same owner, same name, but a new location.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was called Reading Tattoo. Right up the hill from Al's Diamond Cabaret.
Yes,
we saw some special people come up.
I've never been there before ever.
No, it's
just in case my wife.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
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 It's a classy joint.
I've never been to Al's. I always heard about it. I never made it there. Where is that located exactly?
5th Street in Reading. Yeah. Right near the Reading ball field.
I've been there. Yeah.
No pun intended on that one.
So you
I've been at another place.
So you started apprenticing at the shop by Al's?
Yes. Yep.
And then what was that like? I mean, were you into art? Was it just an obsession you had from seeing the tattoos on the bikers and stuff?
All of the above.
Yeah,
I've always been had a little bit of talent with art. I was always coming. I think I was like 7 years old. I would sit in my classroom at school and just doodle on my arms.
Where'd you get that from? Did anyone in your family draw or anything like that? Or was it just kind of something you picked up doing and didn't stop?
As far as I know, I don't think anybody was artistic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just picked it up. I just loved drawing. It was just something that got me away from the normal bullshit in life.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I say that?
Oh, yeah. We say fuck on here and everything. We're good to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, art is one of those passions, man. I loved it for a long time. Then I got burnt out from tattooing for 7 days a week.
Yeah.
For a long time. And then
how long did it?
Shit fucks up your back. I have friends that are tattoo artists, and it's like their back, they just whittle away.
Oh, my back's shot.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, and the older I get, my eyes are going. So,
how long were you apprenticing before you were up and running and like just blasting tats fucking full time?
About a year.
Yeah. What was it like apprenticing there? Was it like the old school stuff where they're like, "You're going to sweep the shop, boy"?
Yeah, I was a shop bitch for a while.
Yeah. Catch that pig, you're going to tattoo him later.
Do they still do shit like that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I do a traditional apprenticeship.
Do you have to tell them that up front? Like, hey, man, this isn't an Instagram shop.
Yep.
You're definitely throwing the fucking garbage
Telling you
out.
will not be famous. You're going to earn your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, though.
That's the way it should be.
It fucking builds character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the worst thing they did to you at the shop?
Personally, to me, a couple knowledge knocks on the head. I was late a couple times and I got hit with a clipboard. Other than that, I mean, I was there open to close.
Yeah, you took it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I quit my job.
Good for you.
Just so I could be a tattoo artist.
What were you doing before that?
Making kitchen countertops.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't like doing that for a living?
No, because I had to go to Westchester.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's where the job was. Yeah, that sucked. Hour drive in the morning and then easily 2 hours on the way home.
Ooh.
Yeah, that drive sucked.
So you're just tattooing full time at this point.
Yep.
And how long were you at that shop for?
Wow. That specific shop?
Yeah, were you bouncing around or
Yeah,
like?
so the guy who owned that shop had, I think, 4 other shops, and I would pretty much go to all the shops. If somebody called out sick or somebody was going on vacation,
Yeah.
they're like, yo, Johnny. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that I did because I wanted to do it. Like, I had that desire to do that. So I was their go-to guy, which was cool.
Just put the fucking work in.
Trying to, yeah.
And this wasn't when it was, there's no Instagram, there's no fucking.
No, there was nothing.
There's nothing to get people to come on in.
There wasn't even internet.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
if
great,
we
but
needed a reference, we had to go to the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah. It's crazy looking back on shit like that and being like, well, you don't have the fucking internet to sell your art. You don't have the internet to sell your persona to have people come in. You don't have a way to advertise the shop. And then back then it was probably taboo to even get fucking tattooed, and it wasn't socially acceptable at that point, was it? Or was it on kind of
Late
the cusp?
90s? Late 90s was on the cusp.
Yeah.
We were getting a lot more business-oriented people coming in and getting tattooed. I mean, we still had your normal run that were getting tattooed. I don't socially, I don't know what you would classify them as, but
Cool people.
But yeah, oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Fucking cool people.
But as far as like advertising back then, it was you make business cards.
Yeah.
Go to the bar, hand them out. Hey, stop by the shop and check me out. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Now it's
different.
instant.
Yeah.
You pick up that little damn computer that's in your pocket and
You're taking pictures. Like, I remember when you would just have to, like, you'd be out at a bar and, like, people were into the idea of seeing an artist work on you. Like, I'd have someone be like, oh, what's that? Or, like, I remember going down to the Holy Family Club and, like, Hartman or somebody who was into tattoos at the time would be like, oh, man, Bicknell did that. And they, like, would appreciate the art for what it was. It wasn't like how it is now where it's just you're so numb to it where I'm not even really looking at tattoos anymore because you can see them all fucking day on here.
right.
Yeah.
Even looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I don't remember getting that tattoo, but it's totally different now, man. It really is. Like back in, I remember while doing my apprenticeship, like you earned it.
Yeah.
Even a tattoo, you earned it. And now it's Insta famous and
Yeah. Man, you got
fans
that following.
only
Yeah.
shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like when I first started getting tattooed, I felt like it was at a good time. It was in my I didn't get one until I was 21. What was your first one? Or how old were you?
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a biohazard sign in my arm.
That's right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was 18. No, 20 or 21 when I had another artist fix it because it looked like shit. That's what you get when you're 16. Your mom had to sign off on it.
Yeah. My mom was super religious, and my brother was just starting to get tattooed by Bicknell, and that was like a big deal that she was mad about. And then so like I waited until I was 21, and then he had gotten several tattoos, and I was like, I'll get my arm done. And then I got one done, and then that was it. I just kept thinking about what tattoo to get, where to go, and then I don't know, and then like meeting the different tattoo artists and then going to conventions is what really opened me up into getting tattooed by different people.
Yeah.
And then it was just game over.
I don't think a lot of people appreciate conventions. A lot of people don't know. If they would go, it's amazing to see all the different styles. And
I didn't understand it until I started going to them to sell clothing, and then like I would meet really cool people, and then I'd be like, oh, like where are you from? And they're like, Texas. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to Texas for a tattoo. So then when I think the first one I got was maybe Stevie P or this guy Kavan, or I forget, but like that changed everything. And then once I got one tattoo at a convention, then I was into going to conventions. And I don't know, when did you start like really getting in and like taking your craft outside the shop? Were you guys doing conventions at the shops you were at, or when did you start going convention heavy? Because I want to get to the point where you open your own shop, but before that, were you doing conventions?
Yeah. So even during my apprenticeship, the owner of the shop was hitting convention out in Pittsburgh, Scranton.
Oh, that's cool that you got to travel and shit. Were you married at the time or anything?
No.
Yeah.
No. Ah, shit, was I?
Because
I'm on my second wife now. No, we were separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my first marriage. I was like 22, 23. I was young.
Yeah, and you don't realize the decision making you do at 22 till you're like 38.
Oh
You're
no,
like,
I just wanted to get laid. That's all it was.
Yeah,
Seriously,
I know.
that's all it was. True story. That was lust. But yeah, I've been in the convention scene ever since I was doing my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Like, I was all about it. And then in the 90s, conventions were just big parties, man. They were awesome. Now it's, ooh, you can't say that. Fuck off.
How crazy would they get when you would go to conventions? Did you guys have like a wild crew that was out of your shop, or you know?
Back then, all the artists were just awesome.
Yeah.
They were just, it was a weekend free for all.
Yeah.
It was badass. Yeah. And like, yeah, now everything's subdued. I mean, even me in particular, like I got 3 kids at home, so I'm subdued.
Yeah.
Like I just drink coffee and that's it.
Yeah. Coffee's good though. We went to a couple conventions, and then I luckily got to Keith got me into the skindustry one, and then that's kind of where I think I met you first, was when I set up I had that giant fucking display, and that was really the only convention I ever made money on. And then
Didn't it take you like 6 hours to build?
It was a couple day build. Jer came in on it, and then my brother helped me, and then it was like this whole production to get it up. It looked fucking awesome, and I sold a bunch of t-shirts, but that was my first take into like being at a convention and like sitting at the booth and like, you know, just the whole, it's a grind. It's a grind for the days.
It is, and it's a lot of activity.
Yeah.
A lot of activity, a lot of distractions that are
Yeah.
going on. Even as an artist, you're like, you want to take in the scene, what's going on, who's walking past you. And then, fuck, I got a tattoo. Like, I got to concentrate on that, but also have my peripheral going and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's really distracting. And then if you're just sitting there, or like, you know, I've you know, been at booths where like people cancel, or like if you're in that rut where there's nothing going on in your booth, that's like being in study hall.
You're losing
that
money.
shit sucks.
Yeah,
and then you're
losing
just
money.
sitting there the whole time pissed, being like, what the fuck? I've already went down to a convention in Jersey, and I went to the wrong one, and I maybe made $200, and it cost like $2,000 to do the whole fucking thing with a hotel room and everything, and I was just miserable sitting there. But I've also been at tattoo conventions where I made a lot of money, and it was fun, and you know, you go, it's not even so much the convention. I liked hanging out with the tattoo artist, because I'd always have like a booth by Alexis or be across from you, and it was like, you know, we could hang out, and then going out at night was always fucking fun.
Yeah, chatting. Like that's the best part. Just having a conversation with these people that you never see, or you see them in magazines, or you see them on Instagram and they got 9 million followers, and you're like, well, that's cool. I think I have 1,200 followers, and I love every single one of them.
Yeah.
So,
when you mentioned earlier about like how you were kind of burned out on art, like where were you at in your career when that happened?
tattooing full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, tattooing full time. It was a grind for me, but I self-imposed grind.
Yeah.
It wasn't any pressure put down from the owners or anything like that. It was just me. I burnt myself out 7 days a week. Then I dropped out of tattooing for a little bit, got a job at a warehouse. And then I was an iron worker and a crane operator for a little bit too.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking man shit.
Yeah.
That destroyed my knees, but
Yeah.
it was worth it because one of the other crane operators I met, he got tattooed by my old business partner. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna get tattooed again. Like I got that itch. It's been a while. I was like, let's get on the bikes and go visit this dude. Drove up to, where the hell was that location at? MacArthur Avenue, near the Dunkin' Donuts. Down before it turns in, MacArthur Road turns into 7th Street, like in the city.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the name of what the shop was because it's just hard memories. But yeah, I met the old business partner that I had, and we got to talking. That I used to tattoo. He's like, "Well, you want a job?" I'm like, "I can only do weekends. That's it, Saturdays and Sundays, because I work full time during the week." He's like, "All right, cool." About a month in, he's like, "Hey, you want to buy half the shop?" All right. Sold my Harley.
Is that the first time that you ever considered running your own shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was something I could do.
Just because you were in the industry that long, or
Yeah.
you'd put the time in,
Yeah.
and you know, it's like when I worked in a kitchen, it's like when you work in a kitchen long enough, you can do every job. And then it's like when you kind of like are there long enough and learn every job, you're like, all right, well, I can answer the phones. I can. So the only thing that's missing is like me paying fucking rent.
Right.
And then you're like,
Making
I can run my own business.
Yeah, making sure the bills are covered is the most important
yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, I dig it, man. It's. I have a renewed passion.
How long did it take you to make the decision in the fucking, did you have to like go home and be like, I don't know, should I buy the shop, or were you, because when you were doing the ironworking and all the other stuff, was the itch for tattooing, like, were you thinking about it a lot? Like,
yeah.
Because if you're an artist and you're drawing and doing different stuff, I'm guessing that from how I do things here is you because I stopped this and it was for maybe 5-6 months. I don't remember how long it was, but I thought about this the entire time, or I'd see something and I'd be like, oh, that makes a t-shirt, this, and then it's like, man, like that really isn't going away. And then that's kind of when I made the decision to go back in it and never really turn back onto, going after my passion.
Yeah, same. I mean, the passion was always there, or the creativity was always there.
It just gets moved to the back when you burn out.
Right. And my now wife, at that time, she was my girlfriend. I talked to her about it when my old business partner approached me about it, and she's like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of those things like...
Yeah, there was no arguments from anyone. Like, why not?
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. You could always go back to the jobs you were working.
Right. Well, and I was. I was still a crane operator. And it got to the point where I knew I was going to be buying him out.
How the fuck did you get into being a crane operator? That's not something you can really just jump into.
Ironically, yeah. No, so with that company, I started as an iron worker.
Yeah.
And the crane operator didn't show up on a job site one day. So my foreman was like, John, get in the crane. I'm like, I don't know how to fucking do this. He's like, it's all labeled. You'll be fine. I'm like, all right, cool.
Listen,
but no, that's
the children out.
That's what happens in situations. That's how
I'm just
that
saying
shit
for the children listening, cranes lift heavy objects.
Yeah, very heavy. Don't do what I do. I'm dumb. But yeah, no, I went through it, got certified as a crane operator. And that's
so you ran it that day, and then they were like, "Hey, you're going to be the new crane operator." And then
it didn't happen. It wasn't immediate. No, it was pretty sketchy that first day. I was scared. I was real scared. But yeah, it was fun, but a lot of stress.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot of stress because you got dudes hanging steel, and
dude,
one wrong move and
I couldn't imagine
you're
that.
ending their career.
I drove a dump truck once, and that was too much for me.
It's not the kind of job that you worry about whoopsies. Like, whoops.
Yeah,
no, there's no whoopsies.
And every couple of years you hear about it. Well, they'll show, like, I think the last one was like that time in Philly when like the crane operator fucked up and like knocked a building over or some shit. Like every once in a blue moon you see those crane operator, or you go on YouTube and look it up if you're a sicko. But
hashtag crane fail. I've watched them all.
Or like the forklift fails are great, where like the people take out the whole fucking thing. Yeah. I crashed a bunch of forklifts.
It's scary. But yeah, no.
That's crazy that you were a crane operator.
It's good money, though. It's good money.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, they're paying you. Could you have the full responsibility of like people's lives with some of the shit you're doing?
Yeah. I didn't have all that gray hair.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
That's where it came from. This is my kids.
Yeah, I got mine from my kids too.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to get mine. A little touch.
You don't have any children.
A little salt and pepper coming in there.
I'm trying to go for the silver fox, like Sean Connery look.
Yeah. I'm going for distinguished. It's not really pulling off. It's not pulling. I'm not pulling it off.
I didn't mean to interrupt that. I just thought it was so interesting that you were a crane operator. So you were offered to buy into the shop you were working at.
So my old business partner, he was kind of shady. And it ended up getting to the point in, what year was that? 2009. He's like, dude, I might have to go. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I got to leave the state. Like, he ran.
Yeah.
Like, gone. So I'm like, all right, cool. I said, I'll get the money together. I'll buy your ass out. 2010, on my birthday in 2010, I Wells Fargo'd that money to him, or Western Union. Western Union, that's what it was. So yeah, I owned it since November 2010.
That's crazy, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Has it been in the same location the whole time? Like when you went back, was it always over where you have your shop now?
No, originally it was at down on MacArthur Road.
Yeah.
And then the place was tiny. We were paying like $900 a month for rent.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we got to go. We got to go. And then we found this spot, and I jumped on it right away. Yeah, we got 1,500 square feet, and I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been in that spot? Is that how you met Keith? Was living by him, or did you know him from the scene with tattooing?
No. So he stopped into the shop. That's when he used to go shop to shop selling machines.
Yeah.
And I met him
It's
at
crazy.
that
I
shop.
remember getting tattooed when he came in one time, handing a machine out to somebody and, seeing what he did with all that from going shop to shop. It's just like anything else. Everyone probably thinks, oh, yeah, you're doing all this stuff. It's like that dude hustled the shit out of that business.
Yeah, he did.
And he works nonstop alone still to fucking fulfill all those orders.
Yeah, I have the 2 first machines that I bought off of him. One of them is 2009. No, 2008. Something like that, yeah. 2008.
That was when he first came around with him?
Yeah, one of the ones that I got
That's
is
so
2008,
great.
2009.
That's so long ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Where the hell did the time go? Dude,
So-
that's like 2 kids for me.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts, dude. You don't realize how long he's been working on or had been developing that entire thing.
Doing a grind. That's all he does.
So where's the is that Catasauqua?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then you got in over there, and then who was with you at the shop? Because I know the shop, like any shop, people are coming and going out of it.
Yeah. At first, my old business partner had an apprentice, Alex.
Yeah.
He stayed on. Really good kid, really quiet, but he was a really good kid. Then I've had, at the most, I had 5 artists in there.
Yeah.
Including myself. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we still had plenty of room.
And you're the only one in that area tattooing, correct? In Caddy?
In Caddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another shop just opened up.
Yeah.
Down near, what's that? Caddy Beverage, I think, down the bridge, but they're blocks and blocks away.
Yeah. You're at this point, you have an established clientele and reputation
Yeah.
anyways. It's
Yeah.
not like it's 2 brand new shops.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate every single one of my clients. True story.
You have a cool setup over there. It's big too.
Yeah. It's like a coffee shop when you walk in. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's real chill. Yeah.
How long did it take you to get, you started running it by yourself. How long did it take for you to kind of like get, like, holy shit, like were you running the shop primarily alone at that point before he dipped? Or, was it a big transition to run the shop alone, full blast? And, there's a lot more responsibilities with the place and shit.
Well, the responsibilities, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really that big of a transition.
Yeah.
Just getting everything into my name and then just cutting the checks.
Yeah.
And it's still it's pretty well self-sustaining. It is. With the employee cut, the shop kind of fulfills its own needs as far as supplies and all that other stuff. Utilities, they're paid for.
Yeah, because there's less people in there. It's less shit that's being used, less money that's got to go out. And then if more people come in, it just kind of evens the balance out where you got to pay for the stuff at the shop and shit like that.
Yeah.
What's it been like bringing people in, to the shop and kind of seeing, I'm sure you brought people in that have been new to it. Is it, what's it like for you to kind of like pass information down and like, because at one point you were the guy starting out. Do you have a lot of that coming through the years where you kind of just have had people work under you?
Yeah, I've had a couple, apprentices. Yeah, I've had several. Jolene still with me.
Yeah.
She apprenticed under me and she loves it. But yeah, I've had a couple others that apprenticed and just, they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
They couldn't, because it's not that I'm demanding, but if you're there, like, put an effort out. It's that easy. Facebook is free. Instagram is free. Like, promote yourself. And some of them just wouldn't do it. And then bitched and complained because they weren't making money.
But then they're not doing anything to tell anybody
that's
where they're
your
at.
problem, not mine.
Yeah. When did you get into, have you always been into firearms?
I've always was intrigued by them. I was real young.
Did you go hunting?
No, I never hunted.
Neither did I.
No,
My parents wouldn't let me go around firearms.
Too early, too cold. I don't like hunting.
That's good. Smart.
They used to hide them in the house.
I believe that.
But I think I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you would have been like, we'll hit the house. Nobody's home.
No. My dad had
Go
gone.
down
My
the
dad was
basement and shoot it. Nobody will hear it.
My dad was in the military. They hunted a lot. My oldest brother hunted. My brother Richard still hunts. But I always grew up around guns, but it wasn't everything crazy. But like we definitely had shotguns and shit in the house. Was that what it was for you growing up, or you didn't get into guns until later?
There weren't any guns in my house. I wasn't until a teenager when I still started getting intrigued. Let's put it that way. I was 18 and got my first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was pretty much hooked from that point.
What did you like about it?
Knowing for the fact that I would be able to defend myself.
Yeah. That's why I got into it.
Yeah.
I didn't get into it till later. I'm a late bloomer, so like there's times in my life where like I was like, okay, you have the mental capacity to own a firearm. I couldn't have done that, and I mean maybe I could have, but I think I would have just done dumb shit. Same with a motorcycle. Like I don't, it took a while for me to be like, okay, man, I think you can own a motorcycle now.
Yeah, but it's not yourself; it's the other people.
Yeah.
Specifically with motorcycles, it's always the other driver.
Yeah. But I talked to him about it, and I said to him, like, hey, man, because I was at the apartment. I don't even know what it was. Like, I just kind of had this moment where I was like, yo, what if somebody came in here? And, like, what if something happened and, like, I'm in the middle of the night, not even a situation where, like, I can kind of make a rash decision and, like, grab something. But I'm like, what if, like, I'm sleeping or something? And that was that spooked me. And then I thought about it for a while. And then he started coming around when we first started doing the podcast. And then he's big into firearms and stuff. And I said to him, like, hey, man, like, I think I want to get something. What should I get? And then we went. I bought 2 guns, and then we went shooting, and then I was hooked. I loved it. I mean, I'm spoiled because he has everything you could bring along to the range. But the headphones are like, you can hear birds chirping, and I was like, hey, this is crazy. And he's like, not everyone has this stuff. So
I don't.
Yeah, so
I can't afford them.
When we went and did that, like, it was a luxury to have that. But then I had such an awesome time. And like, it was just learning how to shoot and the discipline of it and all the different things. And the same with archery and other projects where I started realizing that I need multiple things to grab my attention.
Yeah.
And then like, it's almost like when the whole thing's over, it was that much concentration from never being able to concentrate. It's almost like doing a yoga class where I'm like, oh shit. So we left and I'm like, dude, I'm relaxed. I'm like, this is a fucking good time.
It's very relaxing. Even when I was young, like I was that a-hole at the range, just seeing how fast I could dump the rounds out of that thing. But the more and more I gained a lot of respect for firearms, which you need.
Yeah.
Because they could take a life.
Yeah.
They could severely injure. And now it's at the point where everything is specific. You go in, you do your setup, and make sure everything on your checklist is checked.
Yeah.
And then you can aim down range and pull.
That's what I learned with him, because I was all ready to go. And then he's like, hey, like, he was like, there's rules here.
Yep.
And like, then he was explaining to me like what people were doing and where to do. And then like, we'd be done shooting and we had to wait. And it was like, I was nervous. I was nervous the first time we went, as far as like, because it does get a little weird. And I'm sure it's not like that for you guys because you do it all the time or have done it enough. But it's like, there's a weird eeriness where like, I kind of felt like something could go wrong because I don't know enough about what we're going to do. That's why it was great to be with someone who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Well, even when you go to any range, any range, indoor, outdoor, no matter where you go, if there's somebody on your sides, there's always that unknown. Yeah. Always.
And it's weird
because shit happens more than people think it does. Yeah. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of times that like I'll see somebody going and I was like, yo, man, if you fucking flag me with that gun again, like, I'm going to beat your fucking ass and I'm taking your gun and I'm calling the cops. Yeah. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, just keep that shit pointed down. And it's like, hey, I'm going to go change. I'm going to go swap out some targets. Like, I'm calling the range cold. Everybody hear that? They're like, yep, everyone agrees. And there's some fucking guy loading up his magazines. And I'm like, get the fuck away from your gun. Like, this is basic shit.
Yeah, just back up.
Like, I don't want you anywhere near your firearm at all. Like, just, I'm going in front of your gun. Don't touch it. But people don't.
Even people who say, well, it's not loaded, but they have the barrel aiming sideways instead of downrange.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck if it's unloaded. It's always loaded.
Yes.
That's how you treat firearms.
Yes.
They're always loaded.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I had when I had, I think, my AK for a couple of years. At one point I was shooting and I was just like, all right, like, and it just fucking went. I would have it pointing in a safe direction, and I'm sitting there talking. I'm like, this thing doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the trigger's going to boom. And it goes off, and I'm like, this is why you always keep shit down range. You always you keep everyone aware of what's going on, but people don't. They think it's, well, the good and bad is it's video games. Video games, I think, desensitizes people to think that it's like, I want to shoot that gun. And then they go to the range and they're like, holy shit. Like, I want to shoot a shotgun. And then they shoot one round and they're like, how does someone shoot this all the time and be okay? Well, people don't go and shoot 30 fucking rounds in like 5 seconds with a shotgun like they do in a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, now your hand's numb. Go jerk off.
Yeah, exactly.
The old
but the old shooting jerk. Yeah. I just love, like, when I first started, I was shooting. No one in my family had guns. It just wasn't a thing. But I was like, I want a BB gun.
Oh, that's crazy. I never knew that. I figured your dad or somebody was into it.
No.
Uncle.
So I was like, I want to shoot BB guns. One day I was like, I just want to get. So I went and bought a fucking BB gun, and it was solid. And I was like, so then I just would shoot targets. And I was like, well, this is cool. I can shoot this far with this. Now let's shoot this. And it started getting further and further back. And then I'm like, cool, let's do pistols now. Yeah. And then when I was old enough, I still remember one Christmas, my mom's boyfriend handed me a fucking thing, and he was like, here you go. My mom's like, doesn't he have enough BB guns? And he goes, well, now he has a real gun. So the first gun I got was a 22 rifle, but it hold like 17 rounds in the barrel. But it was like a kid, a little thing. And it was like some fucking cheap gun. I don't even know the fucking name of it. But it was great. I went to the range. I was like, this is fucking great.
Was it the Red Ryder?
No, it was not the Red Ryder.
Did you shoot any animals with it in the woods?
No. But it was awesome. So we'd go. He took me to the range, and I was like, man, this is cool. And then I remember he had shitty pistols. And he was like, here's a pistol. And I shot the pistol first time. I was like, this is not fun. And it was just some 25 automatic, but it was like probably a fucking $80 gun. And I'm like, this sucks. It wasn't until when I got older and I was shooting rifles and somebody had a really nice gun and they're like, here, shoot this. And the first time I shot a real pistol, I'm like, oh, is this what it's like? Holy shit, this is fun.
Yeah, your eyes get opened.
And all of a sudden
up
it's like,
quick.
I'm going to buy a fucking pistol.
Yep.
And then it just started going.
Never stopped.
No.
Do you have a lot of guns? Like, you like buying guns and shit, or you just kind of have like a couple and,
That's a strategic error. Don't answer that question.
I used
to have a bunch too, but I lost them. Fucking funny thing.
What I was getting at is, like, are you like a big gun guy where you like getting accessories and like it's a fucking full-time hobby that you enjoy?
I'm not the tactical. I don't like the accessories.
Yeah.
I like the bare minimums.
That's cool though.
I built one. I built an AR.
Yep.
That's what I was getting at. Like, if you're that into it, like,
so fun.
this is why I wanted to pair you two together. Is he's very similar as far as like building.
For years, I've wanted to build one.
Yep, me too. I'm paranoid as shit.
I wanted to build
because
one.
I watched every fucking video. I read every fucking book, and I'm like, I love the mechanical aspects of the whole thing.
Yes.
I'll still watch on YouTube. I'll be at work and like, what are you watching? And I'm like, it's a Walther PPK. It's showing me how the rounds are fed into the thing. And it's like, what are you doing? I was like, I think this is fucking amazing. Like, who the fuck came up with that? Like, it's so awesome. So,
even mechanically, the whole aspect of the firearm
it's a fucking explosion in your hands.
It's a controlled explosion.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
Until it blows up over your hand. Fuck you, Smith & Wesson. Cocksuckers.
Yeah.
Goddamn assholes.
Yeah.
We won't get into that. But I had a gun blow up in my fucking face, and then they blended on the ammo.
Yeah. Oh, was it high pressure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a different high pressure load. Oh. I'll go tell Remington that their ammo sucks.
Yeah.
Bullshit. They didn't do anything. They wouldn't fix it. They just said, well, we're sorry to hear that. Thank you for being a supporter. I'm not now. Now I hate you fucking motherfuckers.
I had one Smith & Wesson, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Fuckers. I hate them.
But yeah, I just picked up a new pistol. I worked a trade deal with one of my clients. I just picked up a 6-hour 1911.
Yes.
Always wanted a 1911.
So did I. I got one on Christmas. Listen.
For yourself? Your wife definitely didn't get it for you.
No.
Did you mark it from wife?
No. So
he opened it alone upstairs in his gun room.
Yeah. If you mark the tag from Santa,
it looks like
you can't give it back.
Yeah.
You can't give it back.
Jesse, why aren't you opening that? I'll wait till the kids go. I like to open presents alone.
So I never had one. I've shot them and I've never had one. And same thing with like I always saw like the Henry fucking Henry repeaters, and I was like, I kind of always wanted one of those, and then I was like, yeah, but I don't want a 22. So then I got a fucking 44 mag, and then I was like, well, if I'm gonna get one, I want the one with the fucking brass pieces. Like, it looks like a fucking piece of art. I always want.
With
I
the
got
octagon
one.
barrel?
Yeah, I got it. And I was like, look at this. And even my wife was like, wow, that's really kind of like beautiful. And I said, yeah. So I said I always want 1911. So Christmas came, bonus was there, and I was like, my wife's like, did you get a bonus at work? And I go, yes, but I immediately I spent it. The reason was. It was I got a Kimber 1911. So we were looking at this one, and I kept showing my boss, and it was on sale at this one place. I'm like, we need to get these. And he was the kind of guy I could always say, like, this is what and I always justify everything. And I explained to him, we need to get these. And he fell in love with it. He's like, that's a beautiful fucking gun. You know, it's all stainless and it has the fucking wood grips. And he goes, it's beautiful. We definitely have to do it. Well, it was out of stock. And then periodically I was like, yo, we really got to get these guns. And I was trying to get him, like, if you buy one, you have to buy one for me. So we just kept going back and forth. And then he passed. So when he passed, that last Christmas, he passed election day, and then Christmas, I was like, I had the money, and I'm like, and this thing came on sale, and I was like, I'm buying it. And she's like, well, I don't know. I was like, no, I was gonna go. He was gonna buy me one.
Yeah,
it's already bought.
Yeah, I was like, it's done.
It's already spent.
So I already, it's coming in the mail. Like, it's coming to FFL. I'm gonna sign it. And she's like, oh, and then the good news is I have her dad. Her dad shoots now. I got her dad involved. So he's just started shooting. You know, he's older, and he's like, I never shot a gun before. So I brought him fucking guns. We just shot everything. He lives in
the buffet.
Yeah, he lives in fucking Nazi Jersey, so he can't have anything fun.
Nope.
So he's like, wow, and he loves it. So he actually bought his first pistol over the summer, and got all the licensing and all that shit, and bought his first pistol. And then when I showed him 1911, he was like, this is perfect.
They're so iconic.
It just looked great. And he goes, this is perfect. He goes, oh my God, I got to get one of these. And I'm like, I can see his fucking wife there. And I'm like, it's not my fault. I just show him stuff. I don't know.
If you lived in Pennsylvania, it'd be a hell of a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. What a nightmare. Well, the best is he bought his gun. He's in the gun store, and he's like, he bought a beautiful CZ. Beautiful. Just a Target model. And then the guy, he's like, I'm going to spend a lot of money on this one because this is the only one I'm getting. And then everyone in the store laughed at him for minutes on end. And he's like, what's funny? I was like, you're going to buy a whole bunch more. Sure enough, he's like, is it hard to get an AR for New Jersey? And I go, well,
it's very similar to getting tattooed, where you could really go down a rabbit hole.
You can get into it. There's different avenues. Like, I'm just into everything.
Yeah.
So I don't like some people like revolvers. I'm not a big revolver guy, but like revolvers. Some people like pistols. Some people like rifles. Some people like ARs. I just kind of dabble in everything and in whatever I feel like. But yeah, I love first 1911. It's fucking great. I took it to the range and I was like, I thought this was going to be way more of a fucking kick. It doesn't have it. And I was like,
they weigh 25 pounds.
And I was like, I need more ammo.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, firearms, whether it's pistols or rifles or whatever, is comparably the same as potato chips and tattoos. Like, you can't have just one.
Yeah.
Yep.
It becomes, I don't want to say an obsession, but it kind of does.
No, I mean, I got the first one, and then it came with like different grip handles and everything, and then we went a couple times, and I was like, oh, and then I started shooting his guns, and then like I was shooting really well with the one, and I was like, oh, well, what kind of gun is this? And then you start noticing all the differences and the minor differences, and then one might feel a little bit different, and then it was very similar with archery, and it's great with him because I know, like, especially when it gets warmer out, I can be like, and now that I know like what I'm doing with this business, where I can be like, yo, Fridays, let's go fucking shoot, or let's go to fucking archery. But it's really cool to have someone to go do that shit with. And if they're into it as much as him, I mean, he'll just be like, you want me to bring stuff? And like every time it's been different guns.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like,
just bring ammo and I'll bring guns.
Yeah, he's like, here's an automatic shotgun. I'm like,
you got
what?
the food for it? Let's go.
Yeah.
It is a lot better when you can go with someone who has the same passion.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with Keith. It's like when I'm get into the motorcycle stuff. It's like he's so on another level with that, and as a coach, I'm like, cool, man. Like, I know I can ride a motorcycle. I'm not going to pretend it's just like a dirt bike when I was a kid. Could you teach me? But like, that's what I prefer, is to not think I know everything.
Right. And
then if I'm going in with a professional, because I would consider him that, because he like fucking does course training and shit, I'd rather learn that way than just fucking, okay, I know what I'm doing. But I prefer to do things that way and let the fucking professional lead, and then get a basic grasp of it, and then go do it by myself or do it with other people that are doing it.
Yeah, at the same time, you can't go into shit thinking that you already know everything about it.
That's the worst fucking idea ever. I mean, I never really did that as a kid, but like, if you have that attitude and you're not willing to learn from someone, I mean, especially with fucking guns, like, I don't want to not know what the fuck I'm doing.
There's a very very bad scenario that could happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a slice of humble pie.
No.
Like,
No, but the good thing about guns is you don't ever know everything. And everybody who's well-known gun people still go take other people's courses.
Yep.
It's something that you need to pull a little bit from everybody, and it's not, you might think a different way of, how you're holding or your stance or how you're doing things, but you just take little bits and pieces from everybody and you just build and you make your own fucking style. That's why I love it.
But even people who carry, like conceal, I conceal carry. And I see people all the time grabbing it and readjusting. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just let it alone.
Yeah, it's not going to... Unlike what the news tells you, it won't go off by itself.
Well, see, he had. I remember when I first got my gun, you were like, "It's all right, man. Like, you can put it on the table. Like, it's not." Because I was like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, true story.
Yeah,
I could unholster mine, lay it right here, and it won't. It'll collect dust.
Yeah, but I mean, and then that's why I wanted to keep going, because the more I went up, the more you go, the more you're comfortable, the more knowledge you have. Like, I don't want to not shoot enough to then second guess a situation that I would get into.
It's all muscle memory too.
Yeah.
And you know that firsthand. The more you practice, it could be dry fire drills, but the more you practice, the more muscle memory you have in case of a situation appearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to the point when you don't even realize you're doing anything.
Right. It's
you're just doing it and you realize, like, oh shit, I did that.
What made you guys make the decision to carry?
Well, mine's my work.
Yeah.
Well, your work. For me, again,
situational shit.
Situational. I deal with a lot of cash.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you see with, especially with like just following stupid shit on Instagram, like you can definitely see like road rage situations and just shit popping off. I'm like, dude, it's fucking absolutely insane. Insane out there.
Yep.
Yeah. People are assholes.
Yeah, people are worse now too.
Yeah.
I think they're worse.
I think they've always been that way. It's just now public.
It's now
public that people are assholes.
I think there's a lot of everyone feels more stressed now because of all this horse shit that I can see now. That years ago people were just dicks, but now throw in the idea that you have to wear a fucking chin diaper all the time, and they're dealing with all this horse shit. You can't go here and there. I think it's like they snap a lot easier. Now it's like, fuck you. Now it's like, if I go to the fucking stab and grab over on 7th Street to 7-Eleven.
Somebody got stabbed in Nazareth.
Yeah, I know. But a stab and grab there, and it's like, people stand outside and they're like, it used to be like, yo, you have any change? Like, no. Like, I pay with a card, I don't have any fucking change. Yeah. Now it's like, what do you mean you don't have any change? And now there's like a bunch of fucking people. And now it's like, it went from asking to demanding, and I was like, nope, now we don't go to the stab and grab anyway. Even when I go, I have a fucking gun, but now I'm just not going to go there at all.
Depending on where I'm at, because I don't mask. Fuck you. I don't wear a mask. Depending on where I'm at and situational, I'll tuck my shirt in and I'll open carry on purpose.
Why not?
Just get out of my way. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Let me do what I want to do and go home to my kids. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you don't know I'm carrying.
I don't care.
No, I'm just.
I don't care either way. If I'm in the office, I'll open carry, just because I don't have to conceal. I don't give a shit. You're in my office. So, but if I have to go somewhere, I'm in town. Yeah, I'll conceal carry just because it draws attention.
It does.
It's like, I was already on recovery and I was in a back alley and I didn't even have a fucking gun. I had a taser, but the handle of it looked like a gun, and some people saw me, and I looked different than they did. We'll just say that. And they were just instantly, a crowd comes because I'm standing behind a house with a flashlight.
Is it because you're tall?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And they're like, what are you doing? What's going on? And it's just like one person turns into two, turns into three. And all you got to do, it's like, what do you do at that point? Like, they're going to fuck with you. So you just pull your shirt back and turn around and they go, oh shit. And then they walk, and it's like, I didn't pull a gun. Yeah. I just showed that I had something in my pocket and it was a fucking taser. But there's no way. Like, places like that, I can't do my job at night without having a fucking firearm. There's no fucking way. It's stupid.
It's nuts.
Even walks around here.
Yeah.
My wife used to jog through town, And then she started saying like, hey, there's like people that are talking to me now. She has her headphones in and she can hear them, but she's like, people are yelling shit and then walking out on the sidewalk and like stopping me. And I was like, nope, don't fucking stop. You just cross the fucking street and keep going or carry a fucking gun. That's it. And this is Nazareth.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's definitely getting weirder.
Yeah.
Well, I remember growing up in Reading. We never locked our doors.
Yeah.
Never locked our doors.
My parents, I think there was like, this is way back when I was a fucking kid. I remember like gypsies came through town. Like that was a thing. And like somebody's house got
Take
robbed.
their tears.
And then my mom, we'd be in the backyard.
Give me your tears, gypsy.
We'd be in the backyard and my mom would be like, we have to go lock the house up. And I was like, why? And she's like, there's rumors of gypsies ransacking neighborhoods. I still make fun of her to this day. And they are like, but there was a time when we would leave the back door open. We had like, it was a simpler time where like we had a big ass black lab on the back fucking porch. So the back door was left open. And then over the years, it's slowly been lock up. Like you could definitely see the change in just what the fuck was going on.
Well, you go through certain parts of town, whether it's Reading, Allentown.
You don't stop.
Name the big city, but you see bars on the windows of residences. Like, dude, that's your house. You got bars on the windows.
Yeah, but there's certain areas I remember going when we were going to drop somebody off in Philly, and Rosansky's in the car, and he's got his windows down with fucking music blaring. I was like, put your fucking windows up and put your fucking radio down. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're causing a fucking scene. So people are looking and walking up to the car, and I'm like, don't stop, just keep going. We're not stopping here.
It's probably like blasting Limp Bizkit.
Oh, no, it was not. Remember, he was a Tupac fan, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Tupac, I forgot. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like having mine. I like knowing where it's at. I don't know, just every now and then when I'm alone, I really have a feeling of like that thought isn't there anymore. And then it's like, okay, well, I have this in case this escalates. Like, at least I have this for some sort of fucking hope in worst case scenario.
Yeah, it's a security blanket.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like my 3-year-old has a little doll that she carries no matter where she goes.
Yeah.
And that's what it is for me and my firearm.
Yeah. I didn't take it seriously when I was younger, and then the older I got, and then, it was just like talking to Tim and other friends who like, I have friends that have families, and, he's like, I have this here in case something happens, and I'm teaching my wife how to do something, and then, you can say what you want, but, if that situation does occur and you're not prepared, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucked. I don't know.
But it's the same. It's the same way if you do, you can use that analogy for anything. I mean, if kids are in school and they hear a fucking fire drill, they have a fucking thing they follow and a pattern they do, and it's just the same thing. It's just a different setting.
Yeah, I remember my parents going over fire drill stuff with us. Like we're like, all right, if the room's on fire, this is the window to go out. And
here's the numbers if something happens or whatever. Here's the numbers you call. Yeah. I
remember threatening my dad that I was going to call kids piece if he kept beating me, and he said
you wouldn't have liked going there.
No, he was like he goes, you can call that number and you can pack your bags. You can tell them to come fucking pick you up. I think it was serious.
During like bad storms, would your mom fill up the bathtub with water?
No, she never did anything like that.
No, that's a Berks County thing. It's got to be.
No, I have.
What
is
that for?
I have no clue.
I'll tell you what it's for.
Here we go.
I have a bladder for the bathtub too. It was for fear when you live in cities like that, if the power goes out and it's out for days, some of the city's things, the pump wouldn't work. So it means you can't. You're gonna have. It's never gonna happen because you have so much pressure in the pipes already and so much water going. But they're paranoid if the power goes out. That's old like farm shit.
Yeah.
That when the farm would go out in no power, you don't have power to the pump, which means you can't get the fucking water out of the well. So they would fill up your bathtub. Yeah, that's what it's for.
We had candles. I remember when. Do you remember when? That was the furthest my mom would go is candles. Candles. We had candles.
We have candles.
Yeah. Cool. I remember the power went out here and it was nothing, and it was pitch black. There's no windows down here. So I put on a couple of we lit
Kenny
whatever
G
candles were here. Yeah, we had Kenny G. And then that was the day it was out. Remember when power was out for like 4 or 5 days?
Yep.
That shit sucked.
It was
sucked.
The only thing that bothered me is we had to come up with stuff for kids to do.
I wasn't prepared.
But
nothing.
But everybody was like,
you got a flashlight on your phone.
Yeah, now I do. Well, then I couldn't charge my phone.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah. But no, that was like when it went out, everybody was like, oh my God, we're going to do it. And I go, I have a whole bunch of guns and ammo. Whatever the fuck we need, we just go get. I have food. I'm prepared. I don't give a fuck. I can drink out of a toilet with all that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Well, then that was
I'm not
also
going to.
that was also when COVID hit. That was kind of the first eye opening to where
like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I'll go fucking tackle a cow if I have to.
People started thinking that preppers weren't. They're like, oh shit, like this is what everyone was kind of. I believe it didn't cross the line, but it was the closest it's been in a while since people were like, oh well, maybe that wasn't a dumb idea to have stuff ready.
For years, preppers were conspiracy theorists. What are you doing?
Yeah, we won't get into that, but there's a certain people that vote a certain way that anything that goes against what they believe is crazy. It's crazy.
Joe Biden.
Yes, they're all crazy. just like, and I'm not getting just like, they're never gonna come for your guns. Stop being fucking crazy.
Yeah, bullshit.
Look at the news.
Yeah, they're trying right now. They're trying hard.
But they're never gonna, right? We're good.
Mm-hmm.
When the hell did you get into Freemasons? How'd you get into Freemasons? Why'd you get into Freemasons?
That's a hell of a segue. I've always been interested in that. One of my great uncles, Freemason for.
Do you usually get into it because somebody else is in it?
Family members usually.
Most part, yeah. Mostly. There are rare occasions where somebody will just walk into a lodge and say, hey, I want to become one. And then you go through the process. You fill out the petition. You get to know the brothers first before they'll even say, sure, here's a petition. I got into it. I became a Mason 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I just started seeing you post stuff, and like I said, my brother was dabbling in it for a while. I don't know how serious he was with it. Some people don't talk about it. We didn't get into it that much, but I always just thought that was like a cool thing. And then when I saw you were kind of like, promoting that you were a Freemason, I was just interested in how the fuck that even came apart.
Yeah, I'm one of the odd ones in my area of Quakertown where I openly say that I'm a Freemason.
Yeah.
I'm not bashful about it at all. There are some where they don't want people to know.
It's a stigma. Because it still has an old stigma. Yeah. Because everyone hears that it's a secret organization, which it's not really a secret anymore because we have the internet. So, but they think that it's like, well, what are they really doing in there? Why won't they tell us what they're doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I can tell you exactly what you're doing. My family were all Freemasons. I never did.
We're not a secret society. We are a society with secrets.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No New World Order bullshit. We're not. No Illuminati bullshit.
That would be so cool if you could rule the world, though. Wouldn't it?
Listen, we can't even decide if we want fish sticks or chicken nuggets for dinner. Like, how are we going to take over the world? It's great. No, I'd love it though, because for me, it's a system of moralities.
Yeah.
It helps me have a good moral compass just to be a better person. Through all the teachings that you go through within the first 3 symbolic degrees, if you take them to heart and you practice them every day, by nature, you just become a better person. And if you're serious about it, you'll always be a better person. And that's the great thing about it. Like, I don't think right now I would be the same person if I didn't get into Masonry.
Yeah.
It's really that simple, because it did make me a better person, better husband, better father.
Just hones in your moral compass.
It really does. It really, really does.
Because there's very few things that actually will do that nowadays, because morals have gone out the fucking window.
Oh yeah, they're gone.
Majority of people, and the fact that you bring up ideas about morals, half the fucking people you talk to would be like, that's just, we don't do that. Like, I don't know what happened to people, but it's just basic fucking human, decency, but people don't go that anymore. They don't believe in that.
No,
it's a shame.
It's a complete disregard for human life.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Whereas we take it serious. A life is precious, and that's how it should be. But
what made you want to get into it?
Who am I to say? Because all I can say is that this nation was founded on Masonic ideals. I don't want to say Masonic experiment, but our founding fathers were Masonic.
But back then,
was it something that always intrigued you, just from like seeing it all over the years? And then did you have a talk with somebody who was in it? Or
yeah, one of my great uncles. He lived in he grew up in the Reading area, moved out to Montana. He was a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason, and he always talked about.
How many degrees are there?
33. The 33rd is an honorary degree bestowed upon you from other brethren who feel that you
have reached the highest pinnacle.
Well, not really the highest pinnacle,
Yeah.
but you have served the fraternity in great regards. You put it in a good light. You're a good person, and that gets bestowed upon you. But that's if you're Scottish Rite. So there's 2 appendant bodies to Freemasonry. There's your 3 symbolic degrees, first, second, and third. And then there's appendant bodies, York Rite, Scottish Rite. So I currently am a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. April next month, I go towards the York Rite, head my way towards like Knights Templar possibly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. Like that's the stuff that interests me, is just kind of the intrigue of like what it'll actually all entails and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you obviously put in fucking work into it. It's not like you just did it and you're like, oh, cool, I'm a Freemason. Like you're actually doing shit.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually within our lodge in Quakertown. I'm actually going through the chairs. So eventually, I'm going to be the master of that lodge for one year.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. You have to put the work in.
Yeah.
You have to. You can't cheat it. You can't skimp on it. You can't cut corners. You have to be serious about it and give it your all.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, it sounds like everything that you've done through this entire story is that your work ethic is just through the roof.
Yeah.
You don't stop working.
No, I'm lazy. I am.
Are you lazy from working too much, or you're obviously not?
No,
You're not lazy
I just
at all,
don't give a
dude.
shit. No, I don't care.
There's a difference between not giving a shit and lazy. I know the difference. You are not lazy, sir. I wanted to thank you for coming on, man. I wanted to interview you for a while. I didn't know if you were going to do it or not. I asked Keith, and he's like, yeah, I think we'll fucking do it. But you were one of the first people going to the conventions that fucked with my stuff. You bought shirts to sell in your shop. You bought shit off me. You always supported me over the years. And I just kind of wanted to repay the favor by, once this platform was able to tell people stories, like you've always had a rad one, man. So, I couldn't thank you enough for coming on. And I want to give you the opportunity to push your shop and push your social media and kind of just, let people know where you're at.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. My shop name is Bierys Port Tattoo Studio. We're in Catasauqua, Pennsylvania. It's myself. That's Instagram and Facebook. I don't go on Facebook personally. But I have Instagram, which is Jon Millisock 1791, as in the Bill of Rights. And Bierys Port Tattoo Studio, it's also on Instagram. And Jolene, who works with me, it is Jomo Tattoo. I believe that's what it is. You can find us on there.
Yeah.
We're always uploading.
Too. Yeah.
Everything we do is uploaded right onto.
No, your social media is good to follow.
Yeah.
You're always posting either art or tattoos or
or guns.
Yeah. I mean, it's not boring to follow. It's definitely you have solid content. And then what'd you say when Dylan comes into town? He'll just
he just pops in.
Yeah,
he's awesome. He just pops in.
Yeah, I also thought it was cool that Dylan was came into the scene for a little bit before he moved.
Yeah. Well, and that was through you. He came to my shop.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, because he was. I forget where he was, and then. Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot that.
Yeah, you brought him in.
Yeah,
you brought him in.
Fucking beans! I can't wait to interview him.
He's a rad dude.
He plays it down, but that kid went from fucking angry skateboarder to just doing he was angry for a while.
Yeah.
But he went from I don't know. I'll save it for when we interview Beans. I want to try and get Keith on here. Maybe Keith would do the show with you. I don't know.
I'm down. I'm down.
I know you're
anytime.
down. And I'll bring you back anytime you want to promote anything, or we can do it like every other month or something. Because we could always talk guns. Because that's why I brought him on, because I knew that we'd be able to do 20 minutes on just firearms.
Yeah,
but anyone who's a first time listener to the show, you can go to neveragainstudio.com. That has all the apparel. It has everything we do, everything we sell, all the YouTubes on there. We're sponsored by Keith B. Machine Works. There he is. Thanks, Keith. He hates me. But I want to get him on here.
He hates everybody.
Yeah, I want to get him on here. But he fucks with the show and he shares my stuff, and I appreciate it. He doesn't have to. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you go home. It's late, and this is the third podcast today, so I'm done. Work is over. That was awesome. That was